But now let's talk about the Group 1 racing in Perth. Another $1.5 million race, as I said. The Northerly Stakes. We missed Palele last week. We couldn't find that coming from the back. What about this race? It's interesting racing. You've got the Cascadian, the old bull, if I can use that terminology, at the top, with J-Mac going across for Godolphin, and then the young filly down the bottom with Amelia's Jewel. So the top and bottom here.
Isn't it great that Godolphin's supporting the West Australian Carnival as well? And they go and take a Group 1 with Palele, who is now a stallion. They only stand Group 1 winners, so he's got a spot on the roster now in the future. And Cascadian goes over and takes on this race. He's been so consistent this prep. Almost had a bit of a non-winners tag for a while, didn't he, Matt? He was running on and running good races in Group 1 races, but not getting the job done. You have a look at his form this time around. He's got a couple in the bag, a couple of wins. He goes there as a worthy favourite, but he's got to tackle a pretty good filly who might be a once in 20 years sort of style of filly in Amelia's Jewel. Yeah, we've got Bustler down the bottom as well, but Amelia's Jewel defeated Bustler in the Guineas. And 3-year-old fillies have been successful of late in this race. At the 9 kilogram turnaround, I mean, that for me is a factor.
It's a huge factor.
Especially when a horse like Amelia's Jewel has the acceleration that she does. There was a video going around on social media. I think Simon Miller, trainer, put a little camera on Amelia's Jewel, and it had a little speedo on the side. She was hitting 70 kilometres an hour at top speed in track work.
Try doing that in Melbourne traffic. That's impossible.
Try doing that on a bull. It's really hard, old or young. So it's I think that sort of acceleration is just unheard of. And with the weight and with the inside gate, I'm in her corner. I really want her to win because I'm getting excited about the prospects of seeing her in Melbourne for an All-Star Mile.
All right, well, let's get to your top 3 selections for this race. You've got Amelia's Jewel on top. What about the other 2?
Yeah, Cascadian, I think, has to be there with a massive chance. And he wins and beats me, well, so be it. But I'm going with Amelia's Jewel on top. Steinem in for 3rd. Dry tracks are the key to this horse. And she got a dry track at Flemington before a break and ran really, really well. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the job done for us at a price, but I think she's the next best. All
right, I'm very similar. I'm going with Amelia's Jewel. I can't discount that 9 kilo turnaround. She'll get the 1800 metres. She's very, very special. I've got Cascadian, who's coming off that good run behind Alligator Blood, and you mentioned is a Group 1 winner. And I'll throw in Tricks of the Trade, the railway winner. Drawn badly, so he's going to have to go all the way back, but I'll be looking for Tricks of the Trade at the end to come flying home and maybe not catch the other 2, but be right around there for 3rd. So that is the Group 1 Northerly from over in Perth. Let's turn our attention to Pakenham. We talked about the meeting being tricky. What about the actual Pakenham Cup? I think we've got 9 runners, $15 or under in the betting as far as punting goes, because it's a very hard race to separate. And you talked about horses coming through different form lines.
Yeah, and the horse I've landed on, Future Score, is sort of the new blood, I guess, into this race. Like, we know him, he's been around forever and a day, but he's 3rd up into this race. I think it's a little target race for this horse this time around, and I reckon the trainer might have a look at the Tasmanian Cups with this fella, after this race, sort of stepping through those grades to a little Group 3 somewhere if he can stand up and be counted in a Pakenham Cup. But his last start run was really, really good. I like the way he hit the line. He goes on wet or dry, but I think he's better on top of the ground.
Milford comes off a win just a week ago and knocked us out of the quaddie.
Yes, unfortunately.
51s and the 15s.
But I said we were going to get it.
Yeah, well,
I did the finger.
When we did that, it was $51, and that's why we didn't put it in.
I'm going to end up with a broken finger at the end of this series. We're just jamming it into the table, saying you're going to get every quaddie.
But are you surprised backing up a week later?
Not really. It's there for the taking, I guess, and you've got a horse in form who'll get the trip. And there's good money on offer as well. So, yeah, horses in winning form. Go around again.
All right, let's land on your top 3 selections then for the Pakenham Cup.
Future Score on top for me. Love the Ballarat Cup run. I think getting on top of the ground again is a big factor for this horse. He's got a good gait. Freddie Kersley knows him well. Ticks some boxes for me at a little each-way price. Vegas Night. Nick Ryan's stable is absolutely flying at the moment. I like the fact that he's stepping this horse out to uncharted territory. He was a good winner last time at 2,000. I think a step to 25 won't be any problem for him. And Kissinger next best. He's found some consistency as well. Can sort of be a little bit hit and miss, got the job done a couple of times as preparation, but he can loom up and just find one better.
I'm going with Wycliffe. I settled on Wycliffe. It was a good second at Flemington last start. Before, went to 2,500 metres at Caulfield on a soft track. I didn't think that was the right time. Now, 5th up in the preparation, I think is the right time for Wycliffe. Craig Williams on board, and we're looking to do what he did for Vow and Declare, the stablemate, just last week. I've got Noble Heights and Kissinger as the next 2. They both come out of that same race at Cranbourne. Just a 1.5 kilo turnaround from Noble Heights on Kissinger, but I don't think there's going to be much between those 2 in that sort of race. While we're looking at Pakenham, your best bet away from the Cup?
Away from the Cup, race 1, let's get it early. Braden Starr, who was so good at his Aussie debut, he just smoked that field first up. This is a nice step forward for him. Matty, I think he'll go and win again. He's not a flash price, I think he's $2.15 or something like that, but it should be a case of get in early and get the money.
Other bets or value bets we should look at?
Yeah, Chicago Bear in the last, another import, so sort of top and tail in the card with these imports, but very, very unlucky at Flemington on Cup Day. I loved him on that occasion and thought his jump outs were really good. I expect him to go and win this. And best value, I think, is in race 8, Paldoro. Great first up win. He's been a horse that's been a little bit fickle. I think he's got more ability than what we've seen. Maybe mentally, with a little bit more age and time on his side, he'll mature and start to put that on the table for us.
Well, my best bet's the same as yours, Braden Starr, to kick off with a win. My other bet I'm looking at is in race 8, but it looks like Elvis, who won the race last year, has been trialling well. So, and that is race 8, number 2. It comes down from Warwick Farm, knows how to win this race. And best value, race 2, number 4, Santero. I think the dry track is the key to Santero resuming for that stable. Hasn't won at benchmark 78 level before, but I think could run a very good race at around that $15 mark. All right, that is the meeting at Pakenham. Nick H set to join us to talk racing at Rosehill next.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.